Okay, Rich Van Tassel here with you on the Rich Van Tassel channel, Monday, April 18th, 2016. The Indiana Pacers lost to the Toronto Raptors, so the Raptors were able to even that series up at one game apiece. Despite, again, poor showings by both Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, a combined 9 for 31 from the floor, 28 points between the two of them. Kyle Lowry did get to the line 10 times, made all 10 of them. He had 18 points, 9 assists. DeMar DeRozan only 10 points. So those guys continue to struggle. Jonas Valanciunas carried the way, 23 points, 15 rebounds. He's really been playing well in both games. He's been a monster on the glass, as have the Toronto Raptors in general, out rebounding the Indiana Pacers 44-33 again tonight. The Pacers really have had no answers for the rebounding. Patrick Patterson and Corey Joseph both strong off the bench. That is Corey Joseph. That's not Chris Joseph. I just want to make sure. Yeah, Corey Joseph. Chris Joseph isn't in the league, but both guys playing very well off the bench to assist, so to speak, the struggling Lowry and DeRozan. Those two guys are really going to have to pick it up. I put DeMar DeRozan on the third team at the shooting guard. Kyle Lowry I had left off, but he's still a quality player, and these guys have been talking a lot about how this is a different team and this is a different year. They were able to get the win today, even the series up, but those guys are going to have to figure it out. For the Pacers, Paul George, 28 points on 8 of 15 shooting, got to the line 11 times, made 10 of them. Monte Ellis had 15 on 6 of 12 shooting, also 3 assists for Monte Ellis. Those were the only 2 players in double figures. So I was not able to watch the game. It was on NBA TV. But it certainly looks like Toronto is taking the approach that Paul George can have what he wants. We're going to shut everyone else down, and that's not a bad philosophy to take. Moving forward, Toronto has certainly created a bit of a monster here, as if they didn't already have a gorilla on their back coming into this series. They got the split, so they're not down 0-2. Again, I don't think an 0-2 hole when you lose 2 games at home is a death sentence, as some people might think. You certainly have to, regroup and get things together. But they're down one, or they're tied up 1-1 now, heading back to Indiana. Certainly with Indiana winning game 1, and in this game, Monte Ellis had 15 points on 6 of 12 shooting. That's why it becomes very interesting, because Monte Ellis is still capable of going off in a game. So even if Paul George might be suspect, you have a shot with Monte Ellis. And going back home, you would expect them to win 1. I still think Toronto's going to win this series. I didn't think it would be that much of an extended series. Certainly now I could see it going 6 or 7 games, especially if DeRozan and Kyle Lowry don't pick their game up. They're going to have to improve, and I don't know what to make of these guys. They really, I don't know if they are just, if this is just a bad matchup, which I don't really think. George Hill is a pretty good defender, but Monte Ellis, for all his scoring, isn't great. You do have Paul George they're putting on DeMar DeRozan, so I'm sure, George's defense is affecting it, but Kyle Lowry has got to be able to, he's just got to play better than George Hill. It's really that simple for this team to advance. We'll see what happens as they head back to Indiana. Yeah, it's just very interesting with Toronto. I'm very surprised by these guys. So we'll have to see how things develop the rest of the way. All right, we got Oklahoma City and Dallas right now. Dallas hanging tough. As soon as that game is over, we will give that to you, the recap of that one. Thank you all.